Hello, everybody. My name is Dave Calley, owner of Dimension Design Build Remodel, and today I'm here with Jonathan, head of our design team.
Hey, everybody.
And we're here to talk about kitchens. Wonderful world of kitchens.
And what a better place to talk about kitchens than inside a kitchen.
Right. We're in our kitchen, our beautiful kitchen that Jonathan designed in our MBA Parade of Homes kitchen. And it's really got some neat things. We're not here to specifically talk about this. We're here to help you guys manage through your own kitchen remodeling ideas. And when we talk about kitchens, is one kitchen model kind of like the rest of them?
No. I think that's probably the biggest challenge that we face is people really not getting a good grasp of the types of kitchen remodels there are. So why don't you take us through a little bit about what you encountered, Dave?
Yeah, so people call us all the time to do their kitchen, and they always want to know how much it's going to cost, and it's a really hard question. There are many different levels of a kitchen remodel. You can do what we kind of call in the industry a minor kitchen remodel. Minor kitchen remodel can be, hey, we're keeping the cabinets and we're going to maybe do new face frames and do new drawers and door fronts and maybe a laminate countertop. And the cost of that, it's hard to do it for any less than $20,000. I would say anywhere from $20,000 to $40,000 you can get a minor kitchen remodel done. So still a lot of money, and people kind of go, huh? But that is the reality of the industry.
Yeah,
so the other thing would be, and these are more the kitchen remodels that we tend to do, and you as the designer, most people that are looking to just kind of put some new hardware and laminate countertops in their kitchen don't necessarily need your help.
I would like to think they do.
I know you would, but
no, most people don't hire a designer at that point.
Right. So the people that we tend to help are the ones that need more of the major kitchen remodel. Now, the major kitchen remodel are the people looking to, hey, my kitchen, whether it functionally isn't working, but we're just looking to start from scratch, right?
Mm-hmm. For sure. So
at that point, maybe the plumbing's getting relocated, but we're definitely doing new cabinets, new countertops, new flooring. I mean, new everything. We're starting, taking it down to the studs, and a lot of times people just don't like the way it's laid out. So that's where the magic of what Jonathan does comes in. Now, why don't you tell us a little bit about specifically the design process? And we can talk a little bit more about the design build process, but just what does that entail?
Sure. We always want to start out with trying to find out what the issue is.
Right.
And usually, if you're in a major remodel or you're thinking about doing that, there's a pain point. There's something just not functioning with the kitchen. A lot of people will start off by saying it's aesthetics, but when it comes down to it, you wouldn't be tearing all the way down the studs if you were hoping to put it right back the way it was. So we first started about having that discussion, and then a lot of times it's just working through 3 or 4 different designs. And I think that's unique to our process in the fact that we don't just come up with a design and say, here's what we think you should do, and this is the best. We really work together as a team to say, well, I've got some expertise on my end, you've got kind of the pain points that you've been dealing with for years. How do we meld those two ideas into one and get the best product for really the budget that you'd like to spend, assuming that we're in that right category for spending the right amount of money.
It's like anything else. You get what you pay for. Certainly in this industry, it's no different, and even more so. Jonathan is, I think, part of the problem. People get a little sticker shock when they find out, well, what's going to cost for a design. Mm-hmm. Well, again, you get what you pay for, and Jonathan is going to take you through, again, 3 or 4 different reiterations of that design, because there isn't just one solution that jumps out and is like, oh, that's what it is. You have to get to know the customer, and again, you talked about pain points. You got to figure out those pain points.
Well, I think sometimes we get focused on the box that we're in. When people come to me, especially with the kitchen design, they go, well, I've got the 4 walls here, Jonathan, so I guess that's where we're at. And when we start to explore the areas and different areas around it, so we don't just draw kind of unique, and I think one of the things that Dave appreciates, we don't just draw that square and say, hey, it's all there. We actually draw the rooms kind of corresponding to it, analyze where maybe plumbing might be. And so as a designer, you're not usually faced with those kind of challenges. We like to just draw the box and say it's going to be pretty. And I think when we look at more of our design build package, that's when we start to look at. I'm always looking out for the dollar amount. I'm looking for construction technique, how to not overextend or have to move that window. But sometimes maybe moving the window is the best way to actually get the most bang for your buck.
Right.
So we're always exploring those ideas, and that's why it's so. I guess I get saddened when I hear people say, "Well, I got one kind of a box design, and we went with it, and we're not exactly happy."
Right. And that, leads us to our design build process. So one of the key ingredients to this is, again, figuring out what a budget is. That's a hard question. Now, if we're again kind of going back to what we talked about earlier in the video, we talked about your minor kitchen remodels and, that budget range, 20 to 40. I think you got to plan on spending, to kind of just keep the cabinets you got, but just kind of put a pretty face on them and some laminate countertops. Again, we don't normally deal with those kind of customers because those people typically don't need the creativity of a designer. Now we get to the mid-range kitchens. I think on average, and I would say we're probably 65 to 75 range. That's kind of an average cost of what we seem to, I think, run into for a mid-range kitchen. And again, it is a lot of money, but we're again dealing with typically your higher end materials. And for example, this beautiful kitchen, we have this countertop called Decton. And it's what's really neat about this is we had this in our 2018 MBA parade, and I don't know if you can see this, but this screwdriver is actually being whittled down to nothing. And we've been doing that with our countertop, believe it or not. It's not an inexpensive material, but these are the kind of materials that we bring to the table as a design build team. And again, it's about, bringing the possibilities and then, letting the budget ultimately drive, in part what we can do. There's plenty of kitchens upscale that you can spend easily over $100,000. So, but I think the good thing about what we do is we again take your budget into account, and as a design build team, we're working to towards that. Now we got to have a budget that's realistic based on your expectations, but I think we worked really well to work with the budget that people have, and we want to make sure that it's realistic, because if it isn't, ultimately we don't want to spend people's money on a design when they're ultimately not going to be able to afford it. So I know a lot of times when people go to architectural firms, you don't get that kind of treatment. They want to design this beautiful thing, and all of a sudden you find out what the cost of it is, and it's like, well, that's kind of out of my reach. So,
and by the same token, sometimes you go to different firms that are kind of quote unquote design build that really don't have a designer with them. They
Right.
have someone who draws some plans or does kind of enough to get you a permit. You might hear the words used, a permit set. We can get you, and then they kind of send you store to store to store.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of the opposite end that we hear a lot of. Well, I hire an architect, and boy, that shot me through the roof, and I can't afford it. And then we've had the other teams come in and go, well, we didn't get any design at all. We were just told to go to these places, and there wasn't much of a process.
Yep.
So.
And we can't be all things to all people. We know that, and some people are going to really appreciate what we do, and those are the kind of people we definitely want to touch and work with. And schedule wise, I think when we talk about our process, I think on the design end, you got to figure, and our process is a process. I mean, it takes time, but if you want to do a well thought out design, you're going to get together with this guy more than once. Typically, it's a 48-week process just for the design. Then we got to go out and send it out to bid, and then once we finally get the team on board and get the construction contract squared away, can be anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks, and that's assuming we're not actually doing addition as a part of the kitchen, because that's a whole nother topic. But ultimately, the customers that we're looking to help are going to be the ones looking for the quality and creativity that comes with the design build process that we have. And we are also NARI members, MBA members. We've had projects in the tour of remodeled homes. We talked about what we're standing in here right now. This is our parade of homes from last year. And we're also certified remodelers through NARI and certified aging in place specialists. So we have a lot of qualifications, and there's a special kind of customer that we want to help. So
Talk a little bit. You said 10 to 16 weeks on the design end. I think
Right.
one of the questions I get asked, I'm sure is on your mind too, is, okay, well, now I've gone through the design end. What can we typically, our clients, what do we want to tell them as our time frame for construction? Because I think this always is another one that people go, I thought it was only going to be X amount of days.
Yeah, I mean, 6 to 8 weeks is probably a good ballpark for a typical kitchen remodel where, again, we're not, bumping out the back of the house or something. So
I think that's critical because we always try and tell the people, they're like, when's the best time to start the project? So you're thinking about, right now, you're thinking about a kitchen remodel. That's why we're on this video right now. And so if you're thinking about this, kitchens, a couple of questions I get asked is, well, what do I do when I don't have a kitchen? Because we take it offline, right? So I always say kitchens are great in the summertime when you can go, if you've got an outdoor space, or you might be able to, do have the kids off from school if you've got kids. And so you get some time to get away from the house and you don't rely on the kitchen as much as the wintertime. But if you can do it, we've done them in the winter. You just got to be careful of that. I mean, be conscious of that because
Right.
you're going to be offline for that 6 to 8 week period, which is why that 10 to 16 weeks is so important that we do up front because we really want to limit that. 6 to 8 weeks is pretty much a standard. I mean, I don't think we really have anything run past that. We're very precise. We're on time.
yeah, because everything's ordered ahead of time and we're ready to roll. The cabinets are there when we need it, so it's all important to have that. And I mean, we also use Builder Trend as a way to, and the customers actually can watch this online, watch the schedule unfold in real time. So that's just a project management tool that we use to make sure that we're there, as long as we're, not longer than we say we're going to be there. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Excellent.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for checking out our kitchen video. If you have any other questions, we have some other videos on here too to answer some other things. So thanks a lot.